I'm Dr. Lexi Lane with Summit Vitality, and I wanted to give you top 10 tips for addressing your anxieties. Should you be experiencing that right now? It's really, really high in terms of societal anxieties. Just with the coronavirus pandemic going on, social distancing, social isolations, it's a really, really uncertain time and an unusual time. So I wanted to share some things to think about and things you're probably already doing that are wonderful for mental health issues. So number one is the obvious one, exercise. Getting out and moving, getting your body moving is going to be so helpful for not only your immune system, but also your mental health. Oxygenation to the brain, that's what exercise is doing. And more oxygen will bring more fuel and you'll feel better overall. Number two is a suggestion is to maybe limit your news time. I was trying to think about, can you get your daily news within 5 to 10 minutes of exposure? If you're somebody who's obsessing and just being constantly bombarded with information, take a break. It's okay to check in once a day, but having yourself inundated with it nonstop would be not recommended, especially if you're super anxious. Another one's going to be to get outside. It's spring. It's beautiful. If you have allergies, you're probably experiencing those symptoms of allergic reactions to pollens and things in the environment. That is creating more anxiety in people. So just take a deep breath and calm through and think through what it is in terms of how you're feeling, and just know that, does this feel more like the allergy? The fever is a really good indicator. Lack of fever, you're probably dealing with your seasonal allergies. Obviously, if you take some Zyrtec or your Claritin, of course I'm a naturopath, so we think about histamine stabilizers, but all your tools that you're using for allergies, if it's helping, it's probably an allergy thing. So just know that when you're thinking that. But get outside, it's so nice. And then the next one is going to be one of the things that I like to do is, if I'm really, really anxious about the economy, I'm a small business owner. Obviously, there's so much uncertainty around that. I've written down some of the things I'm worried about, and what I'll do is I'll write them down, but then I come up with some sort of plan of action. In each of those things, you can actually write three different options on how you can tackle those certain worries. That way it's like, okay, that's a worry, but here's what I'm gonna do about it. And it's a really, really helpful way to kind of rationalize through and get you to stop that downward spiral that you can sometimes get stuck in. The next one is going to be a simple cup of chamomile tea. Now, if you've been following me, you probably have seen my immune supportive teas. So guess what? This tea here is my kitchen remedy immune support tea, but I've also thrown in I've thrown in a chamomile tea bag, or chamomile, however you say that. Anyway, yes, so one little tea bag of chamomile tea is fabulous. It's good for kids too. Another thing that you can do is, you can take magnesium. So if you're someone who is constipated, if you're constipated and anxious, magnesium citrate is a really great tool. Magnesium glycinate, however, doesn't have that laxative effect, but magnesium has a lot of relaxing properties to it. It soothes our nervous system, relaxing smooth muscles. So that's a really great one to have in stock. 350 milligrams for kiddos, up to 500 milligrams. Sometimes people need 1,000, but start with your 350 to 500 milligrams for the magnesium. Talk to friends. We are social distancing, but we've got social media and FaceTime and Skyping. We've got Snapchats, and there's. It's funny. We have all these online tools now to stay connected, and we are really needing to rely on those. But talk to friends through text message and through even just picking up the phone, old school. But keep talking to people. Keep connecting in that way. Another thing that you can do, so it's a really obvious one, but I have to say it, is caffeine. Obviously, if you're super anxious, caffeine is going to aggravate that. So, check in on your caffeine levels and just think, am I drinking a lot of caffeine because I'm home and there's that coffee pot or that Keurig? I don't know what your situation is, but if you're anxious, back off the caffeine. And then finally, this is for the people who are seriously dealing with panic attacks, post-traumatic stress from all of this, which is real and very normal. And quite a few people are dealing with severe anxieties. obsessive compulsive disorders or hypochondriacs, germaphobes, any of those people, if they were anxious before, they're really anxious now. So you're probably on some pharmaceuticals to help manage your anxieties, but things that we like to think about is GABA support. GABA is a neurotransmitter in the brain involved with anxiety, and wheat, gluten actually can mess up GABA pathways. So if you know you're wheat sensitive, this would be a really good time to really make sure you're being clean on that. So I'm hoping that that's some really helpful tips for you. There is in the GABA pathways supplements to help you with that, and you could certainly go out and reach out for things. But just know if you're on pharmaceuticals that you probably need some medical advice with that one. So I wish you all well. I'm Dr. Lexi Lane, and with Summit Vitality, and don't forget to meditate and breathe. Thank you.